Okay, I am in a Tesla Model Y long-range dual motor. I'm running 11.4.4 full self-driving beta. This car has version 4 hardware. All right, here we go. We have engaged full self-driving, and we're going to see how far full self-driving will take us. Bit of an unnecessary slowdown, but I probably wouldn't have been going that fast to begin with. Okay, so far so good. There was a car that popped up around the corner, but that was perfectly fine. A little bit of a blind curve, but I would not have done any different. No, I do not want to go in the bike lane. No, I do not want to go in the bike lane. Okay. We're going to have to disengage. That is a bike lane that is not for cars. So, I didn't want to correct because of the car behind me. They just figured I was an idiot or pulling over for some reason, so. Now, the interesting thing about it wanting to go in the bike lane is the right lane is for turning right. If you're planning on going on the freeway, you actually don't want to be in that right lane. You want to be in that middle lane. What on earth? The second disengagement. I don't know why. It constantly feels the need to be in the right. That was the emergency shoulder lane. All right, I don't know why we're speeding up. There's a car right in front of us. Why are we speeding up? I'm way too close to the car in front of me. All right, let's check my aggressive setting. I moved it to the right to get to the setting. I don't know if I was assertive, but let's go with average. Yeah, I was average. So now I'm average. I was average. Definitely not assertive. Okay, let's see what happens now. So what I need to do is get over to the next lane at least. 2 lanes would be good. I don't have a carpool lane sticker, so I can't use the carpool lane. Normally it would get over by now, but let's see. I think around 1 mile it'll probably start to move over. And there we go. I wonder how it got to 66. Wonder why I chose 66. I didn't choose 66. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 70. Actually, 75. Essentially, I'm not saying I want to go 75. I want to go whatever the speed of the car in front of me up to 75. Okay, so now I'm going to take it back down to 70 because what I don't want to happen is I don't want to be in the far left lane going 75. I kind of like where I am, and I'm happy going 70. Well, I'd like to go 75. Let's go 75 because the cars in front of us are pulling away and I'm going 70. So let's say 75, but what I don't want it to do, if the cars in front of me are not going 75, the Tesla will take me to the left lane to pass them. And what I don't want to be is that guy who's in the left lane not going faster than the cars in the right lane. Okay, so this person in front of me is now going 70 miles an hour. And now my Tesla is saying, well, I want to go 75. He's going 70, so I'm going to go around him. That's essentially what just happened right there. Now, what doesn't happen is my Tesla does not then put me back in that lane, which probably is a good decision considering they're not going 75 either. I am applying force to the wheel. My goodness. Now there is one nice thing that you could do. If you feel like you want to be in the next lane, I could just tell the car I want to be in the next lane. So I'm going to simply turn on my right blinker, and now the car will put me in the next lane. So even though the car is doing what it thinks it should be doing, I can also tell it what I want it to do as well. So I feel better now because I'm in the third lane, and at the speed I'm going and the cars around me, I feel better being in the third lane than I do in the number 2 lane. And there is my car passing on the left. And of course, the Tesla puts me back in the number 2 lane. Okay, I guess we'll be happy in the number 2 lane. Okay, we are doing a transition to the 101 freeway. I guess that's why I'm in the number 1 lane right now. I don't think it's because of any speed. Well, I guess it is because they are not going 75. So I guess that's why I'm in this lane now. But of course, nobody's going 75 now. Now, I do know that in the past, my car has not liked being near what it sees as emergency cones. And I've seen in the past where it tries to get away from the emergency cones, which is probably a good idea. But in this situation, those actually aren't emergency cones. Now, it did not try to get away from them, so Maybe that's an improvement. Oh, there's a Tesla Model Y towing. You don't see Teslas towing very often. Okay, perfect reaction to the car pulling in front of me. That was handled perfectly. Again, perfectly handled. The car even knew before the car moved to begin slowing down. So that was well done. It looks like my speed was set to 65 at some point. I guess it saw a sign. I am holding the wheel. Okay, so in the past, what I've noticed in the past is I usually just have a hand on the wheel, and the weight of my arm is usually enough. But what I'm noticing now is that it needs me to change. Like I can't just hold my left arm the entire time. It now feels like I need to switch every now and then. That might be something they added to prevent people from putting things on their steering wheel. So I think what it's doing, and this is pure speculation on my part, I think what it's doing now is it's saying, yeah, you're holding the wheel, but I need you to hold the wheel differently. Like you need to shift the weight from one side to the other or do something different so that the car knows you're not trying to cheat the system. All right, let's take it back up to 75. Actually, I'm going to take it to 70 because I don't want to be in the left. I don't want to be in the number one lane, the left lane. I don't necessarily like to be in somebody's blind spot. Now, they fixed it because they wanted to get in front of me, but I would prefer not to be hanging out in somebody's blind spot. Alright, let's... Oh, how do we get to 55? Not a big fan of that. Apparently it sees the sign and it brings my speed down. I guess you can make an argument for that or against it. But the end result is that I just suddenly feel like I'm driving really slow, and I'm wondering, how did that happen? That sound is the... they put grooves on the side of the road so that if you drift off the edge of the road, you hear that, and then it kind of wakes you up. But because I guess of some construction or something, they moved all the lanes over. So now I'm basically forced to listen to that sound, which I should not be hearing. But thankfully, my car just took me out of that lane, so we're good. Okay, I just felt my car move over for the motorcycle. It didn't move very far, but I felt a little bit of a whoop over to the right because the motorcycle was coming up on my left. Alright, so I got to shift weight to the other side. We will be transitioning soon. In 2.6 miles, we need to get off at Valley Circle Boulevard. Okay, I'm going to tell the car to get in the right lane, because I don't personally feel comfortable going 70 in the number 2 lane when I can be in the number 3 lane. Okay, I do need to get in the right lane. It is 0.7 miles until I need to get off, so it looks like we're going to speed up and go into here. Yes, nice. That was pretty intelligent. Back in the old days of the enhanced autopilot, the car would just turn on the blinker no matter what. And then if there was a car there, especially a car in your blind spot, it usually kind of upset the other driver. Like, why are you doing that right now? I think when I drive, you just naturally look for an opening. So you either need to speed up or slow down to make that opening. And I've noticed the self-driving now is doing that. It's looking for the opening, and it's either creating the opening by speeding up or slowing down. and then taking the opening, and it's not doing the blinker until it has an opening. And that is great. That is great, because that is how I would drive. The whole turning on the blinker when there's no gap just kind of annoys everyone, and especially me, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the annoying guy who turns on a blinker when there's nowhere to go. And so now the other person has to think, do I let him in? Do I speed up? Yeah. This is a pretty big right turn lane, and it seems that I would be a little more to the right, but it's not. Like, there's enough room on the right here for someone to actually go through. If there were cars behind me and somebody was a little more aggressive, they might have actually snuck in there, and that would have been a bad thing, but that would have been a bad thing on their part. Technically, there was nothing wrong with what the car did right there. I just think it should have hugged a little more to the right. All right, we are in a 40 mile an hour zone, going 40. I think it opens up a little bit to 45 at some point. 40 feels very slow to me right now, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with the speed limit and see what happens. There is a school coming up, so it's gonna drop even more. Now let's see what it does here. So it says school speed limit. It didn't see the sign. That's interesting. So it either saw the sign and ignored it, or it didn't see the sign at all. There is no school today. It is Labor Day, but it is Monday. I guess there are some kids here. I wonder how it knows if school is in session or not. They have a bike rack on their Tesla. That looks not so bad, actually. This car on my right is being very aggressive. I don't know why you need to go flying into the car in front of you when there's clearly nowhere to go. Maybe they just had a little too much caffeine today. I kind of like this Tesla here. It's very blacked out. It's a performance Model 3. No. I take that back. Okay, the aggressive driver is now behind me. Can't really tell from that view, but he is putting a lot of pressure on me to go faster. But I don't feel that pressure because I'm going with all the other cars around me, so I don't necessarily feel the pressure to move out of the way for this guy. There he is. You can kind of see how close he is, although he is backing off now. And there he goes. I'm sure he's very happy. Okay, I don't know what that was. Not sure why we just turned on our left signal. There's nowhere to go. And we come to a complete stop while all the cars around me do what everyone else does, which is a California stop, a rolling stop. But apparently we can't do that because NHTSA has a problem with that, even though everyone does it. I do like how it sees the arrows on the ground. That is pretty cool. Okay, we should be turning right here. Here we are. Probably took that turn a little faster than I would have, but I'm not complaining. There is no stop sign here, but I guess it felt the need to do it anyway. It's slowed down for the turn, that's good. And we're coming up on our destination. And it looks like the car is just going to stop. The destination's on our left. Good job, Tesla.